Hello and welcome to another playthrough of Marvel Champions the card game. We're going to be going up against Klaw on expert mode in this video. So we're doing Klaw 1 and 2, and on phase 2 is what we'll start at. He'll have 18 hit points, scheme of 2, attack of 1, and search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Immortal Klaw and reveal it and shuffle the encounter deck. So we have that out. So what that does is Klaw gets plus 10 hit points. When the scheme is defeated, Klaw loses those hit points. So it's going to come in with 3 threat and an acceleration icon. And we are at 28 hit points now. But if we can defeat this side scheme, we'll lose 10 of those hit points. So we'll put the 3 there, and then for the main scheme, we use the Klaw 2 and 3 and standard and expert encounter cards, and then we have the Masters of Evil encounter set. So set up, search the encounter deck for the defense network side scheme and reveal it, shuffle the encounter deck, advance to 1B. So defense network we have out, starts with 2 and then gets an additional 1 per player. So it's going to have 3 as well. So we have 2 of those with 3 on them. So, when revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engaged with the first player. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we get Tiger Shark. So he's going to start. He has scheme of 1, 3 attack, 6 health. And as a force response, after Tiger Shark attacks, give him a stuff status card. So that completes the setup for the villain side. We're going to be going with Stephen Strange, who is Doctor Strange. So recovery of 3, hand size of 6, and 10 hit points on this side. And Stephen Strange begins the game with Invocation deck, which is this. So what that is you will reveal the top card of that deck, and then you can use that card with the ability from Doctor Strange. When you use it, you just keep flipping through the deck. So there's always going to be one face up for you to use. So the first one we have is the Winds of Watum, available to us. And then his natural talent action, discard the top card of the Invocation deck. So he can use that to discard that to reveal a different one. Thwart of 2, attack of 1, and 2 defense on his hero side. And hand size of 5. Spell mastery action, exhaust Doctor Strange and pay the cost of the top card of the Invocation deck and resolve the special ability on that card. So we'll start with Stephen Strange and draw our 6 cards. Drawing Toe to Toe, Uppercut, Magic Blast, Brawn, Strength, and Energy. We will use our mulligan to get rid of these 2, drawing 2 more. Drawing Uppercut and Melee. We're going to flip over to Doctor Strange, and first thing we'll do is use his ability to use Winds of Watum, which says draw 3 cards. So we're going to draw 3 cards. Drawing a Helicarrier, Power of Aggression, and Relentless Assault. So since we use that card, we reveal the next one, and it's the images of Icon, and then we're going to pay 3 resources to get out a Helicarrier. So that is 1 per player. Exhaust Helicarrier, choose a player, reduce the resource cost of the next card that plays this phase by 1. So we'll use that right away to make our next card 1 cheaper. Then we'll bring in Brawn, only having to pay 2. So here's 3 cost ally, thwart of 1, attack of 1, 5 health. And at response, after Brawn attacks, remove 1 threat from a scheme. So he'll attack for 1, attacking Tiger Shark. And then remove 1 threat from, we'll take it off of the Immortal Klaw. And we'll use Power of Aggression to pay for a Relentless Assault, deal 5 damage to a minion. And I could have overkill with that, but 5 damage is just enough to defeat Tiger Shark. We're going to go ahead and just ready up. Ron did take 1 damage. And then we're going to discard melee. We'll hang on to Magic Blast. Drawing 4 more. So we got Magical Enhancements, Master of the Mystic Arts, Magic Blast, and Master of the Mystic Arts. So for the villain phase, 1 threat added there. Actually, we get 2 threats because of the acceleration icon. And then Klaw is going to attack for 1, and then he gets 2 boost cards. We'll just take the damage for now. So it's going to be 2 damage, and this boost ability put weapons runner into play engaged with you. So we'll go down to 8. And then weapons runner will attack us for 1. So we're down to 7. That, and then we get an encounter card, which is going to be Masters of Mayhem. When revealed, each Masters of Evil minion attacks the hero is engaged with. If no attacks were made this way, search the encounter deck and discard a pile for a Masters of Evil minion and put it into play engaged with you. Then shuffle the encounter deck. So we do have Tiger Shark already in there. Let me see what else there is. So we're going to go with Melter. So he has a scheme of 1, attack of 3, and the engaged player must defend against Melter's attack with an ally they control if able. He has 5 health. I will make my next card 1 cheaper and pay 2 for a Magic Blast. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Discard the top card of your deck, and depending on what it is, it's going to do something else. So energy, so it's going to deal 2 damage to that enemy. So it deals 7 damage to Melter, which is more than enough. We only needed the 5 anyway. I'll use the ability for Doctor Strange to play images of Icon. So confuse the villain and remove 4 threat from a scheme. So we'll remove the 3 from there. And Klaw is confused, which reveals Vapors of Altor. So I did have to pay 1 for images. We'll attack for 1 with Brawn. 1 damage to the weapons runner, which deals 1 to him, and then I can remove 1 threat from a scheme. And I think I'll take it from here. I'll go ahead and flip over. I'm going to use his ability, which lets me discard the top card of the invocation deck. So that brings in the Crimson Bands. Then I'll ready up. Drawing to our hand size of 6. We're going to hang on to Master of the Mystic Arts. So we're only drawing 5 cards. Drawing Valkyrie, Eye of Agamotto, Melee, Astral Projection, and Genius. It's going to be 2 threat added to the main scheme. That's at 3. And then Klaw tries to scheme, but he's confused. Gets rid of that. And Weapons Runner will scheme for 1. So that's at 4 out of 6. We get an encounter card, which is going to be Whirlwind. Scheme of 1, attack of 2, 6 health. When Whirlwind attacks you, also resolve its attack against each other hero. Okay. First thing I'll do is pay 2 to get the Eye of Agamotto out. And we'll flip over to Doctor Strange. I will make my next card 1 cheaper and use the Eye of Agamotto as 1 resource to play Astral Projection. Choose a scheme, remove 3 threat from that scheme, and look at the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon on that card, remove 1 additional threat from the chosen scheme. So it's going to be 3 threat. Plus, we look at that card, so 1 more. So it's going to be 4 threat. Brawn will attack for 1. which takes out the weapons runner and removes one threat. Then I'll use my ability to use the Crimson Bands, paying 2 resources for that. 7 damage to an enemy and stun it. So I'm going to do it to Klaw. So 7 damage. Bringing him down to 21, plus he's stunned. Revealing the last card, which is 7 rings. We will ready up. And I still have Master of the Mystic Arts in my hand. I think I'm just going to discard it, so I don't want to hang on to it for too long. Really want to get our cloak out. So Nick Fury, Relentless Assault, Endurance, Magical Enhancements, and Protective Ward. The 5 cards we drew. We're going to get 2 threat added there to the main scheme. Klaw will try to attack, but he's stunned. Whirlwind will attack for 2, bringing us down to 5. And our encounter card is an Armored Guard. So he's a scheme of 0, 1 attack, 3 health, and he has guard, and he comes in with toughness. So I'll make my next card 1 cheaper, use the Eye of Agamotto, and 2 more resources to bring in Nick Fury. So it's 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health, and after he enters play, choose to remove 2 threat from a scheme, draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage to an enemy. We're going to choose to draw 3 cards. Drawing Toe-to-Toe, Mystical Studies, and Avengers Mansion. I'm going to pay 2 for a Relentless Assault to deal 5 damage to a minion. We're going to deal 5 damage to Whirlwind. And then Brawn will attack him for 1. Which defeats Whirlwind. And we can remove 1 threat from a scheme. So we'll get rid of that side scheme, which causes Klaw to lose his 10 extra hit points. Then I'm going to pay 1 for Endurance. So play under any player's control, 1 per player, you get plus 3 hit points. So we'll go up to 8. And now our max is 13. So we'll attack with Nick Fury. Gonna have to attack the Armored Guard to get rid of Tough. And then we'll just thwart for 2 with Doctor Strange. And then we'll ready everybody back up. And draw our 5 cards. So we got Sanctum Sanctorum, Power of Aggression, Cloak of Levitation, Astral Projection, and Mockingbird. 1 threat added there to the main scheme. Nick Fury did take a damage. So he's going to defend. Klaw's attacking for 1 plus 2 boost cards. So that's 6 boost icons. So 7 damage to Nick Fury. He is defeated. And then Armor Guard attacks us for 1. We're down to 7. And then we get an encounter card. Sonic Boom. Either spend 1 of each resource or exhaust each character you control. So I think we're going to exhaust each character we control. I'll make my next card 1 cheaper and then pay 1 resource for the Cloak of Levitation. You gain the aerial trait, and then exhaust Cloak of Levitation to ready Doctor Strange. And I'll use that to ready. I'll pay 1 resource for Sanctum Sanctorum. Exhaust Sanctum Sanctorum as an alter your action to shuffle a spell from your discard pile into your deck and draw a card. That. Just gonna move Endurance under Doctor Strange just to save some room. I will exhaust Doctor Strange using his ability to do the 7 rings of Ragador. So give up to 3 characters each a tough status card. Place this card in the invocation deck discard pile. So I only have 2 characters, but they're both going to be tough. And then we're just going to kind of shuffle this deck. And reveal the top card, which is the Winds of Watum. And I did have to pay 1 resource to play that card. But we're going to flip over to Stephen Strange. And then use our Sanctum Sanctorum to look for a spell. And we're going to choose Magic Blast to shuffle back into our deck. And then we get to draw a card. Drawing Sorcerer Supreme. And then we'll ready everything back up. And our hand size is 6. I'll keep these 2 cards actually and only draw 4. Drawing Wong, Protective Ward, Magic Blast, and Tigra. We're going to get 1 threat added there. Klaw's going to Scheme for 2 plus a boost card of 2. So that brings that up to 6, completing the first main scheme. So discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded and put that minion into play engaged with the first player. So we gotta do that first. Get another armored guard. So he's gonna come in with tough, 1 attack, 3 health, and guard. And then on this side, this is going to get 1 per turn, and once this gets to 8, we lose the game. So they would both scheme now, but they have 0 scheme. And then we're going to get an encounter card. And Alter Ego, this card gains Surge. Another Surge. And discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gains Surge. And I think I'm going to get rid of my Sanctum Sanctorum. Actually, no I'm not. I'm just going to use my eye to use Protective Ward. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel all of its effects and discard it. So this is a treachery card, so I just cancel it. Okay, our turn, we're going to shuffle a spell back into our deck. I'm going to pick Magic Blast. Shuffle back in. It's only 3 cards. Kind of hard to shuffle 3 cards. But then we get to draw a card, drawing toe to toe. We'll flip over to Doctor Strange and use our ability right away to use the Winds of Watum. So we get to draw 3 cards. Drawing 2, Magic Blast and Hulk. Shuffling our deck, and we get an encounter card dealt to us. Okay, so the 3rd card is going to be a Protective Ward. Use the Cloak of Levitation to ready Doctor Strange. Braun will attack for 1. So he's going to lose his tough status. But that's going to deal 1 damage there to get rid of the tough. I'll make my next card 1 cheaper to pay 2 for Wong. So I can, he's a Sword of 1, attack of 2, 3 health. And then exhaust Wong to choose to either heal 1 damage from your identity or discard the top card of the invocation deck. And I'll pay 3 for Tigra. She's Sword of 1, attack of 2, 3 health. And after Tigra attacks and defeats a minion, heal 1 damage from her. Then I'm going to use Wong to attack for 2. And Tiger to attack for 2. So they both take a damage to defeat one of the armored guards. And then I'll use Doctor Strange's ability and pay 1 resource to use the 7 rings to give up to 3 characters each a tough status card. Braun, Wong, and Tigra. Already everything back up. We got a lot of tough going on. So we get to draw up to a hand size of 5. I'm going to keep these 2 and only draw 3 cards. Drawing Valkyrie, Relentless Assault, and Relentless Assault. That's 1 threat added to the main scheme. Oh, we got to reveal the next card. It's going to be Images. Okay, so Klaw is going to attack for 1 plus 2 boost cards. We're going to defend. I think we'll just defend with Brawn. Let's discard. So it's going to be 3 damage, and then discard 1 card at random from your hand. So that gets rid of the tough. And then we have to discard a random card, and we'll pick this one, Relentless Assault. Armor Guard attacks us for 1, which will get rid of our tough. We get a second encounter card dealt to us. The first one is a Weapons Runner, so this has Surge. So scheme of 1, attack of 1, and 2 health. And we surge into another card. And on Hero, take 2 damage, and Klaw heals 2 damage. So we're down to 5, and then Klaw goes up to 13. And the last encounter card is an advance, so the Villain Schemes. So 2 plus a boost card of 2, so 4 Scheme. Bringing that up to 5. So I'm going to go ahead and use his ability, using this to pay 4 images. So confuse the villain and remove 4 threat from a scheme. So he's going to be confused. And then this goes back down to 1. Which brings out Vapors of Valtor. We will use the cloak to ready Doctor Strange. So the damage one is next. So I could. Tiger's going to attack for 2. She takes damage, defeats Weapons Runner, and then heals the damage. I'll use my ability to do the Vapors of Valtor. Choose a status card in play, replace the status card with a different status card. So we're going to change his Confused to Stunned. And then Wong is going to use his ability to heal me 1 damage. Back up to 6. Then I'll make the next card 1 cheaper. And pay 1 for a Relentless Assault to deal 5 damage to a minion. Don't have physical resources, so I couldn't do Overkill. We will ready back up. And then draw to our hand size of 5 again. And we have the Crimson Bands now. We'll hang on to these 2 again. Just drawing 3. Drawing Master of the Mystic Arts, toe-to-toe, and melee. We're going to get one threat here on the main scheme. And he's going to try to attack, but he's stunned. And then we're going to get an encounter card. Klaw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place one threat on the main scheme. So this time for this attack, we're going to defend with Wong. So 2 boost cards. And if this activation deals damage to you, exhaust your hero. But it's only doing 1 damage, which just gets rid of the tough on Wong. Make my next card 1 cheaper. Pay 1 resource for Sorcerer Supreme. So if I play only if you have the Mystic trait, which I do, and then you get +1 hand size while in hero form. I'm going to use Tiger to attack for 2. Klaw down to 11. So I'll use his ability to use the Crimson Bands. So stun an enemy and deal 7 damage to it. So I'll pay 2 resources. So Klaw is stunned. And he takes 7 damage, so he's down to 4. And then I'll use my cloak to ready. Let's see what the top card is. Winds of Watum. So I'll just go ahead and use my ability again to draw 3 cards. Drawing Astral Projection, Toe-to-Toe, and Relentless Assault. And then we get 7 rings. And then I'll pay 3 resources for Magic Blast, deal 5 damage to an enemy, and then depending on what card I discard, something else will happen. So it's physical, so it's going to stun the enemy. So he's already stunned, so it's just going to do 5 damage. So Klaw is down to 0. So we go on to Klaw 3. So now he has a scheme of 3, attack of 2. He still gets 2 boost cards, and he comes in with Tough. So he's stunned and tough. And he's going to have 22 hit points. And we'll go ahead and attack for 1 with Brawn. To get rid of the tough, Brawn gets taken out. And we remove 1 threat. So we ready back up. We now have +1 hand size while in hero form. We'll hang on to the Master of the Mystic Arts and draw 5 more cards. Drawing Power of Aggression, Magical Enhancements, Energy, Uppercut, and Mockingbird. So 1 threat will be added to the main scheme. He's stunned, so he can't attack us. And then we get an encounter card, which is Surge, Exhaust Your Identity. So we're exhausted, and this has Surge. So we get another card attached to Klaw. Klaw gains Retaliate 1, and then spend 1 of each resource to discard this card. So we're going to get hurt 1 every time we attack him. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 of each resource to discard this. I'll use my cloak to ready. I'm going to have Tiger attack for 2. Klaw down to 20. I'll make my next card 1 cheaper to play Mockingbird. So 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health, and after Mockingbird enters play, stun an enemy. So we're going to stun Klaw again. And then Wong is going to Use his ability to heal 1 damage from us. And I paid for Mockingbird with my energy card. Because I made it 1 more cheaper, so it still costed 2. I'll thwart for 1. So that removes that. Then I'm going to use his ability to play the 7 rings to give 3 characters a tough status card. So we'll give it to Wong, myself, and Mockingbird has 1 damage. I'll give it to Tigra. So we'll ready everybody back up. And this is going to get revealed. So Images of Icon is next. A lot of stuff to ready. Drawing to our hand size of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these tough characters. Astral Projection, Genius, Master of the Mystic Arts, Magical Enhancements, Avengers Mansion, and Nick Fury. We get 1 threat added to the main scheme. He will try to attack, but he's stunned. We get 1 encounter card. Klaw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So he's going to attack. We'll just take it because we have tough anyway. So it's going to be 2 boost cards. So 4, 5, 6 damage, which gets soaked up with our tough. The deck does run out, but since it didn't do any damage, we don't get a threat. But we do get Acceleration Icon. That deck is shuffled. I'm going to use Wong. Use his ability just to discard the top card. Bringing in Vapors of Valtor. I'm going to use my ability. And I'm just going to use this. And we're going to confuse Wong. Just so we can reveal the next card. And we'll use our Cloak of Levitation to ready back up. We'll make my next card 1 cheaper to play Master of the Mystic Arts. Pay the printed cost of the top card of the Invocation deck and resolve the special ability. Then place it back on top. So I'll pay 2 to use the Crimson Bands to deal 7 damage and stun an enemy. So Klaw is stunned. I'm going to pay 3 plus the Eye of Agamotto to put in Nick Fury. And I'm going to use his ability to let me draw 3 cards. Drawing Protective Ward, Mystical Studies, and Melee. Then I'm going to use my ability, pay 2 to use the Crimson Bands again to deal 7 more damage. And that brings Klaw down to 6. We will thwart for 2 with Nick Fury, just in case. We'll attack for 1 with Mockingbird, down to 5, and then attack for 2 with Tigra, down to 3. Klaw's at 3. We'll ready up. And this actually needs to be shuffled. And the 7 rings is the next card. Continue to ready up. We're going to draw to a hand size of 6. So we have Protective Ward. Draw 1. Uppercut. Draw 4 more. We're going to have to shuffle our deck and get an encounter card. Fury did take a damage for attacking, or for thwarting. 4 more cards. Getting Melee, Valkyrie, Relentless Assault, and Protective Ward. We get 2 threat there. He's stunned, so he can't attack. And then we get an encounter card. First one is going to be Defense Network. So it gets 2+1 for each player. And it has a crisis icon, so we can't remove threat from the main scheme. We get a Weapons Runner. Scheme of 1, attack of 1, 2 health, and he has Surge. And then we have Exhaustion, which has Surge as well, and exhausts our identity. And then Klaw gains Retaliate 1. I can spend 1 of each resource to get rid of that card. So Nick Fury goes away at the end of the round. We will have Tigra attack the Weapons Runner. So she would heal 1 and then take a damage. And then I'll just pay 3 for an uppercut. 5 damage to an enemy. And that defeats Klaw. He doesn't even retaliate because he's dead. So that is a playthrough of Doctor Strange versus Klaw on Expert Mode. So I used an aggression deck this time for Doctor Strange. Just trying out different aspects with Doctor Strange. So I'll continue to make probably more videos with him and some of my other heroes. But if you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe and stick around for a quick deck construction to see exactly what cards I used in this video. Have a great day. Alright, and for deck construction, we had Klaw 1 and 2 for Expert Mode, and then the main scheme, 1A and 1B, and then 2A and 2B. So we had those main schemes. We had Klaw's encounter set cards. We used the recommended Masters of Evil modular set. We had the standard cards and expert cards. And then we had our obligation was shuffled into the encounter deck as well. Doctor Strange, who is Stephen Strange, as an alter ego. We had the 15 Doctor Strange cards. And then we went with an aggression deck. We had 2 power of aggressions, 3 toe-to-toes, 3 relentless assaults, 2 uppercuts, 2 melees, Tigra, Brawn, Hulk, and Valkyrie. Our basic cards, we had the 3 resource cards. We used Helicarrier, Endurance, Avengers Mansion, Sorcerer Supreme, Nick Fury, and Mockingbird. Then we had our Invocation deck with the 5 cards there. And our Nemesis set of cards. So Baron Mordo is Doctor Strange's Nemesis. So those are all the cards that we used for this video. Have a great day.